One.
Welcome to another. Hold on. I'm gonna cut this
Welcome
shit.
to
It's
an
all good.
episode of the
No, you better
Gatekeepers.
leave that in there too.
Leave that in there.
All right, no,
Yes.
I'm gonna
Try
fix
again.
this. I'm gonna leave that in there for you, but god damn it. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. My name is Knives Monroe. With me, as always, is Cam Stroud and David Lugowski. Fellas, how you doing?
Nah.
What's up, dude?
You ever
What's
have
all
one of
that?
those days where it's like just everything's off for you? That's me today.
Everything's going for you, or everything's
E-
not going for you?
Everything's just off. Everything's
Oh,
just off.
everything's off. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. That sounds like the big sad. You should get that checked out.
Nah, ain't the big sad. Not depressed.
It doesn't feel like a regular Monday for me personally, so I
Exactly.
agree
It
with you
doesn't.
there.
Yeah, it doesn't
Hey,
feel
man.
like a
I'm
normal
off
Monday.
work every Monday, so it feels like a regular ass Monday to me.
Good for you.
Fuck you,
Good
because
for
every
you.
day's work.
I want to thank everybody who's listening. Thank you to everybody who's watching this on YouTube. If you're listening to this on Spotify, I appreciate it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe.
Whoa!
I'd like you
It is.
guys to
It's
go
on
down
Spotify.
into the description. It's in Spotify because people asked. I'd like you guys to
Word?
go down to the description here and follow Cameron Stroud on TikTok. Follow David Lugowski on TikTok. Please support the cause. I'd really appreciate that. Today, this topic is going to be about money, making
Moolah.
money, how to charge for your services. So there's a difference between amateurs, and there's a difference between amateurs and pros. And I don't think you're a pro until you start making money.
You
That's what I
charge
believe.
crackhead prices, you're going to get crackhead clients. There, I said it. That's what it is. What you charge? If you're
He's not
charging,
wrong.
this is how we're starting this. We're going to start this up here because it's very important to get this point across. If you're charging $100, and you're doing like 8 hours for like a wedding, and you're only charging $100, you're gonna get a crackhead wedding. That's just what it is. I don't make the rules. That's just how people work. Just
I'd
saying.
also like
So,
to add. I'd like to add to that to the listeners because I imagine people from all different levels of expertise are listening to the pod. Right? You're gonna have your
I hope.
Anthony's from Canada that are super pro max, and then you're gonna have the newbies or the novices or the people who are the weekend warrior types, which is fine. And I want to say to those
Yeah.
folks, we all got to start somewhere. We've all done the crackhead weddings. I know I have. So there's no shame in that when you're getting started, right? But I definitely want to be able to draw a line in the sand and say there's a difference between charging intelligently and setting up a business, the business side, protecting
Mm-hmm.
yourselves, protecting your assets, and all those things, and doing free work and what the difference is. So David, let's start with you, buddy.
Oh, good
Um,
lord! Why do we got to start with
I,
me?
because I love the bar that you dropped with, if you
Oh, you
charge like a
pay
crackhead,
charge
you do
crack
crackhead shit.
charge crackhead prices, you get crackhead clients. Yeah, it's just
So
that's not even mine. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. That's actually not mine. I got that from a photographer on Instagram at the Slim Creative. Everyone, go follow him. He is a photographer in North Carolina. He's absolutely amazing. We should probably get him on here because he would be amazing. But anyway, yes. So, what's your question, Knives? I'll answer it to the best of my ability.
well, first let's start with how many years have you been in the game, and walk me through the journey of when you. I'm curious, what was the first time you made $1 in this
Okay,
business?
so for transparency's sake here, I actually dissolved my business last year because I was absolutely sick and tired of working with some of the people that I was getting. I wasn't even charging crackhead prices. I was charging fairly modest prices, about 250 a shoot for 250 a shoot for portraits. And it was just so many people asking me to do so many extra things that I do not cover. Specifically, were in the contracts I sent out, specifically on my website at the time. I do not do these things. Don't ask me to do these things. I don't know how to do these things. Like people would ask me if I could make them look thinner. No, I can't do that because I don't know how to do that in a way that would look good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
every time I'd get that in my head, I would just go, buy a Bowflex. I don't know what to tell you.
Yo, that's exactly what I was thinking.
You want to look thinner? Go be thinner. I'm sorry. I can't do much about that. But anyway, the first time I made a buck with it though was in the winter of 2019, I did some stuff for a few realtors that my mom worked with, and it was fine. Real estate photography is actually a really good way to get into how to work with clients because it's very easy. It's so easy, actually.
Okay, yeah, he's not wrong. Real estate photography is
Yeah,
easy,
it's
but let's be honest. Real estate agents can be dicks.
yes, they can be. Yes, because they're the ones who usually, have a higher sense of, self fuckiness. Anyway, don't get me off topic here, Cam. Um, so I started with real estate photography. Worked with my mom, who was a real estate agent, and a few of her fellow real estate agents in Pennsylvania. And then I slowly started moving away from that because I really wasn't liking working with real estate agents. They too were, oh well, it needs to look a certain way. It's like, well, I mean, I looked at all of the houses around here and people are taking photos with their cell phones. I'm only charging you $100 to do a house that you're going to make like 7 or 8 grand off of in commission. So, this is already going to look better than the competition to begin with. So I was getting a little annoyed with that. And so I moved to portraits and I started doing that really well. Ended up sticking with portraits and doing some events. That's another great thing, but every photographer does that eventually. And I feel like that's just the fallback if they can't do what they really want to do. So anyway, stuck with portraits and I was charging hefty for portraits at one point, like 350, 450 a shoot. And I was putting my heart and soul into these photos. And the thing is that it doesn't matter how much work you put into it. The people that you're making the photos for are just going to see pictures. They don't see all the work around the picture. And so uh, last year, had a client, and they wanted this kind of like a themed shoot. The dramatic portrait is what I called it on my website, and I poured my absolute heart and soul into this. And this person didn't like it, not one bit. They said that the photos were nice, and we had worked together for like 2 weeks getting this thing going, and that was kind of the nail in the coffin for me. It's like, I can't work with people that are going to keep doing this. Fuck this. I hate this anyway. So I just stopped and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm paying more money than it's worth to keep this business up and running. So fuck it. Be gone. I'll be happier anyway. And now I am happier. I'm not even going to lie. I really am happier.
Okay. I have a lot of follow-up questions. But
Let's
before
go.
we get to them, I have a feeling that I'm going to have the same follow-up questions for Cam. So we'll get there, and I wrote them down so
Okay.
I won't forget. Cam, I'm
Mm.
curious. How long you been in the game, and when did you make your first dollar relative
Uh,
to your time in the game?
well, I've been shooting for about 10 years. Professionally, you're probably looking at about 5. Yeah, professionally, I've been shooting for about 5. I think I made my first dollar a year into actually doing it, and it was with a wedding. I think I remember charging them probably about 500 for it. First wedding and everything, so I charged on the low end. I look back at that wedding now. Sometimes I even see the photos like, damn, these photos are absolute trash. Um,
Hmm.
and but yeah, no, made my first dollar off it, and then I just kept going from there. And then that led to music videos, that led to photo shoots, that led to real estate. Which real estate for me was the one where I think I did a lot more of that, because I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. It was easy cash. I'll walk into a house, snap, walk out. Cool. I could do, like, it took me what, an hour to do. It could take me about an hour to do a house and make a good what, $100 $200.
Mm-hmm.
Now I charge at least $1,000 for a house because I offer what, drone video and photos. Pay me my money.
Yeah.
So but yeah. What else was I supposed to answer?
Well, yeah, you answered the question. How long did you make your first? How long you been doing it, and how far before you turned a dollar? Right. I'm very curious
Hmm.
about that. Just to kind of follow the same cadence. from the last pod where Cam didn't let us move forward without me answering the question. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to avoid answering the question, but I
I,
personally did free work for over 10 years, like close to 12 years. I did free work. I did a lot of shit on spec. I produced a lot of my own things. I spent way more money than I ever made. I did do an occasional music video for $250 a pop, but I also did a lot of free music videos that were garbage. I mean, the worst shit you can possibly imagine. And I did a quinceañera in 2013, and I got paid fucking like $250 for it. The first
mm-hmm,
wedding I ever did was actually in 2020
mm-hmm,
because work for me was slowing down, and by then I was already a pro. I'd been making six figures or whatever, and I wanted extra cash. And so I did my first wedding in 2020, and I have mad respect for people who do that professionally because it's a whole ass thing. Fortunately for me, all I had to do was film it. I didn't have to edit it, so it was like kind of a dream scenario for me. But I would say I made my first big payday was in 2017. By then, I was probably 12 years in. 12 years of basically doing free work, and then I made my first big payday, which was like $500 a week doing video services in 2017. And I look at that because I was able to quit my full-time day job. I look at 2017 as me going from amateur to pro personally. And so
Yeah.
2017 to 2022 is, how many years is that? 5?
That's
So I would
5, yeah.
say, yeah, even though I've been doing this for 17 years, I would say I've been pro for 5. So I'm 5 years
Wow.
old in this game, which doesn't seem
so
very
let
old
me
at
ask
all.
you this: did you ever have one project that you regretted doing free?
Great. Oh, that's a great question. Nobody's ever asked me that. A project that I regretted doing free. Regretted doing? No, but a project that I regretted getting paid for was that quinceañera that I mentioned, and I regretted it so much because the person that I did that
Mm,
for, the mother of that person that I did that
Mm-hmm.
for, was very like bridezilla, nightmare, like all that. I didn't even accept the second half of payment. I was like, lady, let's just cut our losses. Like, here's the product. You know, here's
Really?
it's what it is. Don't pay me the second half. I don't want to deal with this. I
Wow.
regretted I regretted saying yes to that. I know that's not answering your specific question, but I don't regret doing any free work. How about yourself?
nah. I think honestly, like a lot of my free stuff that I did was the more fun stuff. I think for me, it's like whenever you get money involved, people get really finicky, or they
Yeah,
change, they become
they do. Yeah.
different. Whereas, like, if we're all know that we're just working to get the project done and bring the vision alive, everybody's more energetic. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah,
And
some
that's
money's
why
been
you have
kicked
a
out.
contract, people.
Well, we're gonna get to that. We're definitely gonna get to that. So my follow up for both you guys is,
Mm.
I heard David mention that you were initially charging about $250
Yeah.
for portraits. I'm curious, how did
Yes.
you get to that figure? And same thing with Cam, how you got to those figures when you first got started.
Okay,
Okay.
you
Why
want me to go,
why
David, or
did
you
you
want to go
guys
first?
charge
I'll go first.
why did you guys
All right.
charge those clients that figure? I'm very curious.
So what I did was I factored in my camera gear first, and then I took that number and I divided it by, let's say I wanted to make that back in 10 shoots. So I just take the number, divide it by 10. Cool. Okay, so I need that. I need to do 10 shoots to make the money back for all this gear. Right? That's how it's an investment. I also need to make enough to pay for my subscription services, to actually produce a final product. And then I also need to pay for the fact that I need to make a profit off of this in some capacity. But on top of that, I'm also aware of the fact that I went to film school. I, even in my free time, paid to look at photography from other photographers, whether that is, Ansel Adams or what's her name, Annie Leibovitz, all those. I paid for books to look at those things, so I had experience. And on top of that, before I actually started doing it professionally, I'd been doing it on and off for about a decade. So what I did was I factored all of this together, and I thought 250 is a more than decent, place to start at. It's more than fair. I'm not. I will say, unlike you two, I've never done free work. I don't do free work. I don't believe in free work. So what I ended up doing was just starting at this is it. This is the lowest that I can go without feeling like I'm devaluing the knowledge that I have. So that's how I came to it, and it's a lot more complicated. The more experience you have, the higher that number gets.
Absolutely, I agree with that. What about you, Cam? How did you come
Uh,
up with that number in the beginning?
First, 100% agree with David. It's definitely a knowledge thing. It's like, oh, all right, this is all that I'm bringing. Break that down. That's not how I break it down. For me, it's broken down for me to based off of well, what do I want to get paid? And that's just like, well, what do I want to get paid? What do I want to charge this person? And then I break it down from there. It's like, cool. So let's say somebody's asked me, actually, let's take this New York trip that I'm going on to this weekend. They said they want me to come, they want me to videotape and take photos of the event that's going on. It's only going to be a few hours. I was like, okay, cool. So I just broke it down. I was like, well, you got to factor in travel, and then I got to factor in my time. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to even factor in time. Let's just say this is a half day event that I'm shooting. All right, let's just go with that. So my price automatically starts at $250. That's just for video. I was like, well, they want me to do photos too. So bang, that's another $250. Cool. Then factor in my travel prices. Most likely round it out to about to 100, 110. All right, cool. Charging them $100 because that's what they're also going to cover. And now, cool, I'm making $600 off of this. That's exactly what I wanted to make off of this. So, yeah.
And that's worth it, right? Like the way you break that down, it kind of feels, from what I'm hearing, the way Cam's breakdown kind of sounds like a seasonal thing. Like depending on what you need, there's going to be a premium or not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, there's
Would
also
you say that's accurate?
I totally forgot to mention that there's also, as Cam knows, and now as you probably know too, what I call the asshole premium. If you're talking with me and you're an absolute chode, like the biggest, the brownest of assholes, if
Yeah.
that is you, I'm charging you more just because you're a fucking asshole. You're paying more that I have to deal with you.
Well, it's funny
Plain and
because like
simple.
the way you said, and I kind of took pause with it. We'll get into it because I
Mm-hmm.
think it's worth talking about. You
Uh-huh.
said you don't do free work. I don't work for
No.
assholes. I don't care what the
That's
money
fair.
is. I don't work.
Now
I don't
that
work with
now
assholes.
that is a
If it's a
wonderful.
big, bright, shiny red asshole, I walk away. I don't care what the money is.
Mhm.
And I've
That
done
is
it, and
fair.
I've turned down
Yeah,
big bread because I don't want to work with assholes.
I
Yeah, so
think that
I
I
get
think
that.
that before we go further anymore, I think
Sure.
that one of the biggest things that we need to talk about is that this is not an industry that is free of pieces of shit, whether they are in front of the camera or behind the camera. There's going to be a
What
lot
industry
of pieces
is?
of shit.
What
Exactly. There
industry
isn't
is
one.
free
There isn't one.
of
Even
pieces of
doctors are
shit?
pieces of shit. Like
Yeah,
it's
even armed services have pieces of shit.
don't
You
even get
know,
me
even
started.
firemen. But you know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
even the most
Yeah.
honorable of professions
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
have assholes.
Every,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think something that I take a big issue with is how people on TikTok especially frame starting your own photography business as a way to escape people who just don't understand what the job is like, or the Karens, or the, I'm going to call them Herberts, or whatever the equivalent of a Karen is for a guy. They like to frame it in this nice pretty box that you don't have to deal with those people if you have
Not
your
true.
own business, which is
Mm-hmm.
true. You don't, but they are still there, and oh man, they will find you. Just wanted to clear
So
that up
let me
real quick.
let me ask you guys, what is one thing that you think clients should know or clients should understand when working with a photographer or a videographer?
Okay, I'd like to start. Number one
Okay.
is every photographer, every videographer, every artist, every creative, whatever you want to call us. Number one, there's a vocabulary thing. They don't know the language. I now have
Mm-hmm.
empathy with the clients because we have to educate them on the language they don't know. To your question, we don't. Not all of us do everything. I find that I have
Oh my
to
God,
break this
yes.
down with clients all the time, still to this day. Like
Mm-hmm.
here's this kills me I mean, I think about this like on my workouts. I think about this on my road trips. Like I will just out of the like a rock in my shoe. This will kill me. You know, I remember this guy. I shouldn't even be saying this. Whatever. But let's just be real. I remember this person was like, "Hey, can you film something for me this Saturday?" I said, "What is it?" "It's a barbecue." "You want me to film a barbecue for you?" "Yeah, the budget's $1,000. "You want me to film a barbecue for you?" "Yeah." "What is it gonna
If that
be?"
ain't
He's
the
like, "Dude,
most
just..."
Texas thing I ever heard in my life.
I'm changing the variables because in case anybody's listening.
Oh,
But
gotcha. Okay.
But it was like that, and they're like, "Yeah, just a little 5-minute video about the barbecue," and I said, "Yeah, I'm in."
Okay, so
And
I'm
I
gonna
show
just
up.
be honest
Hold
with
on.
you.
I show up, right? And they're like, "Okay, there are celebrities there." And I show up at this barbecue and it's a celebrity's house. And I thought, "Wait a second.
Oh.
You could have told me that." And when I get there, they're like,
Oh.
"Okay, cool. Here's a photo line of all these celebrities and you have to take poses and photos of them." And I thought instantly the cold sweat sets in and I'm like, "Photos? You didn't say photos.
No. Oh
I didn't bring a
no.
flash." Right? I didn't bring a
Oh
fucking flash. And
no.
so it wasn't a barbecue, it was something else. I shouldn't be saying this. It
Yeah.
was something else. And honestly, it's my fault because I should have been like, "What is it exactly? Give me all the I should have been I should have been super anal. But
Yeah.
all this just to say this client thought like basically doesn't understand what we do, doesn't have a whole lot of respect and understanding for
Yeah.
what we do, think we do
Mhm.
everything, think videography is the same as photography, and it's
Yeah.
not. And there are different
Mhm.
rates for each thing.
Yep.
If I knew I was going to take photos, I would have took my fucking external flash. If I knew I
Yep.
was, you know, what if they asked me for a drone? I'm like, I didn't bring a drone because I thought this was just a fucking barbecue, right? So
Yeah.
that whole thing ended up being a disaster. And I still confront people and businesses, big businesses like Walmarts and Starbucks and
Yeah.
Microsofts that think we do everything. So now, before anybody asks me to get out of the car, before
Mhm.
I book a plane ticket, I'm like, "What do you want exactly?" And I will
Mhm.
break down the costs of each thing so they can
Yeah.
see an itemized list of what it is they're paying for. That needs to be
Mhm.
greenlit and stamped approved by all the deciding parties involved. I need to be paid half up front
Yep.
before I book a fucking plane ticket.
Yep.
Period. End of fucking story. But that knowledge is gate kept. And I didn't
Mhm.
go to film school, so I didn't learn that from some TikToker on the internet. I learned it from
Mhm.
experience, and I learned it from eating a lot of shit. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
A
that story.
hundred
Sorry, I
percent. Nah,
spazzed
it's
out.
like
I'm sorry.
nah. That information that you just gave out is it's not even spoke of or anything like that because I didn't learn it in film school neither. I learned that from doing this, from doing it. That it's like,
Contracts.
yo, you have to educate people on it.
Do you
That,
hear the
that
wind? Do you
I
hear the
understand
wind?
contracts totally. I totally get that. But at the same time, like clients don't know what they want. They think we do everything. If someone says,
Oh no,
you
I get
know,
what you're saying.
film my wedding. Okay, I can have the contract, but like what needs to be in the contract is exactly what it is you can provide.
Clients don't know what they want because none of us are pushing them to tell us what they want.
But they don't know. They don't know what they
Then
But that's
want.
the
then
that,
then come back to me when you have what you when you know what you
But
want.
that's our job, though, David.
But
Our
it's
job is to tell
not.
them.
But it
It
is
is.
not.
It's
It
like
is
if I
not.
go to a mechanic, their job is to diagnose what's wrong with my car, tell me what the parts are
That's
going to cost, tell me
but
what the
that's not the
labor's going to
same.
cost. It's
But
the
that's not
exact
the
same
same.
thing.
No, it is not. Because you see, unlike with a car, when someone goes to get photos taken, they have an image in their head. They do. Everyone does. I know this because I even have an image in my head when I go to get photos taken of me. Everyone has this image that they want the photo to look like. So, in your contract, all you got to do is say, here is your opportunity to tell me what you want out of this. That's it. All you say, here it is. It's a blank page. Just
I
tell me what you want, and I will achieve that. It's when I shot a wedding once in the contract I had. Here is your shot list. This is your opportunity to tell me. These are the people you have to get photos with. If it is not there and you come to me later and say you didn't get that, I'm going to say, well, here on the shot list, You didn't put it there. So this is your fault, not mine. I do not know these people. You do.
I
I can
understand.
agree with both of you. I agree with
Yes,
both
go
of
ahead.
you. Like there is, some instances where it's like, we do got to give a little bit of push to figure out exactly what you want.
A little, now
That's
push
not
hard.
yeah, you got to push hard, but that I believe sets not on the business side, but on the creative side of
Yes.
things.
Yes.
That I'll give you
What
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
what
It's
what
on us.
David is what
Yeah.
David is talking about is
Mhm.
strictly on the business side of everything.
Yes.
So yeah, that's like you both are on the same
Right.
path, just
And
two
I think
different
Yeah.
the
sides of the street.
of
Mhm.
course, I think the marriages, and this is I've only done like 10 photography gigs that I've gotten paid for. Not a lot, dude. As
Yeah.
opposed to the thousands, quite literally thousands of video stuff that I've gotten paid for. So
Mhm.
it's exponential. This is why I'm not like a photographer. But in the
True.
small that I can count that on the small gigs that I've photography gigs that I can count on two hands, I will literally ask the person who wants college graduation photos or wedding photos or portrait photos or lifestyle photos, whatever, to create a lookbook, please. Go on Pinterest. Girls love to do this, especially.
Oh
Like,
my God.
give me
Yes.
exactly what it is you want, because they don't
Mhm.
know. They're not going to tell you, oh, I want like the bouquet in the background. I want this overhead. Like they don't know the language, right? So, but they can tell you,
Mhm.
I like the way this looks on Pinterest, and I can see it and be like, I'm gonna need a 35 millimeter for that. I'm gonna need an 85 millimeter for that. Like they don't know, right? So I think meeting them halfway and kind of equipping them, with some sort of interpretation. Like I go back to like language. You need an
Mhm.
interpreter somewhere in this contract to really know where everybody can be happy. And that part is on us. The business side contract, I mean, 100%, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I understand. I understand where you're coming from about the creative aspect and how they don't understand the way we go about this. I do think though that someone okay, a semi-literate, semi-intelligent person can accurately describe to you what they want, and you being a creative person can figure out what they want. That's what
Ha
I'm getting at.
ha ha ha
It's
ha
what do you mean ha
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 ha? What do you
ha.
mean? What do you mean ha ha ha? What do you
You
mean?
said a semi-literate person, bro.
Yes, a
Even the smartest
semi-literate,
person.
semi-intelligent person can take something in their head and put it into the ether of this godforsaken planet. I do believe
Okay,
that.
so I've worked with semi-illiterate people, and they've described some things that I've sat there like, are you talking about a dragon or a worm? And
Mhm.
like creative people are they're rare breeds because they can describe in their mind what they see in their
Yes.
mind, how to describe it to you, whereas somebody who's not on that wavelength or
Hmm.
who doesn't think that type of way at all, they can't do it. They'll be stuck. So similarly, it's not, I'm not saying that I disagree with you, but I don't fully agree with you. Like I
And
see
this
exactly
and
what you're
this is this
saying.
is something amazing I'm just realizing. This is why we have portfolios to point to them and say,
Yeah.
"Is this what you want it to look like?" So look at that. We have a
Well,
thing
I
I think
agree.
already.
Like because
I think
like
in in
that's the
go
way
ahead.
I've broken down a lot of things where like they're saying this. There's like blah blah blah. I'm like, hmm. Hey, what about this? that
Exactly.
that's what you
Exactly.
mean?
Yes.
No, but no, I like this right here. Oh, you like this in this photo? Okay. What about that? Yes,
That's a, that
gotcha. That's
that's
a
what I'm getting at.
feather.
That I just realized, like, yes, Knives is right. Knives is absolutely right. It's just the way to communicate that is this is my portfolio. Tell me what you
Well, I
like.
think I think in a dream case scenario, right? If we were to
Hmm.
make a list of our
Stabbing me.
ideal clients, right?
Yeah.
Um, Ideally, they want to pay us for the shit that we do, for being us, for the like the cam shit. They want you to do some cam shit for me. That's ideally what you want to be paid for, because you
Yo,
know that,
it like,
right?
bro, if you come at me with like, hey, I need you to do you, bet,
Yeah,
say
Yeah.
less. I then
that's
it,
it.
I that's a whole world of questions I get to ask after that. All right, what are you wearing? Do you have an idea
So
where you want to go to? No? All right, cool. This is where we're going to go to. Do you have
so
an idea? So,
Hold
I
on,
want
yeah,
to
wait.
shift gears
Knives
go
wants
here.
to
on.
ask something.
Well, no, I just want to shift gears here because I wrote this down, and I kind of want to poke the bear. I want to poke the
Of
bear.
course.
David said something, and I was like, I gotta push in on this. I'm very because he
Okay,
also seemed really hot about it. You
I'm
said
always
you don't
hot
believe
about
in free
everything.
work.
I
You don't
don't.
believe in free work. You don't do free
Nope.
work. You seem
Nope.
very. That's a conviction for you. Tell me why.
Because free work can be a waste of fucking time. I don't care how many people try to say, well, no, the experience is good. No, it is not. If I do free work and someone is a fucking asshole while I'm doing the free work, the experience is worthless. It is. I'm not going to learn anything. I'm going to probably be verbally abused while I'm doing this thing. Free work is the beautiful way to exploit someone. I don't care. There's no change in my mind. I've had so many people try and explain to me the different ways that free work can actually be really good to lead to better, high paying jobs or to lead to clients that you actually want to work with. No, it is exploitation at its finest. And only in a society that needs exploitation to survive do we allow that shit to happen. It's like a fucking internship where you don't get paid. Like, who needs that shit? That's if we're not gonna
And
be if we're not gonna be behind internships, we should not be behind free work. Period. End of story.
okay,
No,
in the photography sense, you're familiar with TFP shoots, right?
I am, and I fucking think they are the absolute worst unless the photographer is the one initiating the contact on that TFP shoot. Plain and simple.
So
I've
if
been
a model and a makeup artist
Mhm.
approach you, that's a big fat no, like off the
That's a big
gate,
fat
like out
no.
of the gate,
Big fat no. No.
because
Clearly I have some
the principle
no,
just
no,
on principle.
just on principle. Clearly, I have something you want. You're going to pay me for it. Plain and simple. Because I now have to go and pay for the photo to print for you guys. That's how that works. A TFP is a time for print, right? So are they going to print the photo for me, the person who
Well,
already has a digital
it's a
file?
trade for print. It's a trade for
Trade
print.
for print? Motherfucker. Most of the people I would do portraits with can do their own makeup. Like, there's no way that this would make sense for someone to approach me like, hey, can you do a TFP for me? No, bitch, go pay me. What the fuck are you doing? This shit. Do you think I got my gear with TFPs? Like, no.
Okay, fair. I will say, and that's why I wanted to push back a little bit on the business side.
Uh huh.
Um, I still to this day will do free work. It
Mm-hmm.
but like you have to understand, like nothing's free. Like there are times where I do get a new lens and I want to experiment with it and I want to do that for free if I can. You can
That's
put out there,
fine.
hey, yeah, I'm initiating it, to your point, and it's like, hey,
Yeah.
got this new lens, wanna get some reps in, like who wants a free photo
Really,
shoot, whatever.
honestly, you know what? I will not adapt. I will adapt what I'm saying. Actually, no. Let me change this. Let me better explain this. I will do things that I want to do if I initiate contact on anything. I will do them. I won't charge anyone. It's my
Yeah.
idea. I'm asking you. Actually, in most cases, if I'm asking you if you want to do something and you want to charge me, well, you know what? That's how America works, baby. Like that's how this godforsaken place works. So that's only fair. But if someone comes to me and asks me to do something for free, go fuck yourself with the wide end of a rake. Like, no, we're not doing that.
Whoa, whoa, intense. Cam mentioned
That
something about
was intense.
Cam. I know Cam mentioned something about. He didn't say this exactly. I'm paraphrasing, but this is what I took
Okay.
from him. What he was saying. When you are doing something for free. No, what he said was clients. Something
Mm-hmm.
changes once there's money involved, right?
Yes.
And I agree with that. Another reason why I still to this day will do free work every now and then, because I think it'll still lead to something. There is a transaction sometimes. Like it might not be
Mm-hmm.
with money, it'll be with something else. But
Food.
there is like a leverage in doing something for free. Like if Knives is doing something for free, a video, a
Mm-hmm.
documentary, a music video, something wild like that for free,
Mm-hmm.
I have the leverage, I have the power, and I really love that. If I want to say,
Yeah.
if I want to show up on the location and be like, yeah, not feeling this, I'm out. I can do that if it's free. I can do
Yes.
that. And so I like the leverage. I really like that power dynamic of like if it's free and it's on my time and I should be getting paid for this, that
Mhm.
really does something for me. I don't know what it is, but I enjoy
But
that.
I don't see what I guess maybe what it is that if I'm doing something, I'm not getting paid for it. Like I'm looking at this, especially if we're like in a business sense, not in a creative sense. If it's me going and shooting with cam or me shooting with knives, I'm gonna do that for free. Absolutely, I'm not charging anyone for that. I will pay for plane tickets. That's about the extent of it. But
Oh,
like,
word! I'll be getting
it,
paid. Call, bring me down next week.
but
he'll
like,
pay he'll pay for the plane ticket.
He did say that. Remember, he did say that.
but like, but like as a business, like there's, it's a business. It's supposed to be making money. Like,
I'm
isn't that
curious,
the whole?
David. You said in this one shoot in particular last year, and it sounded like there was some dramatic elements there. You don't have to go into super detail if you don't feel comfortable, but you
Yeah, sure.
basically said it was kind of like a shit show, and you're like, I'm out, I'm done. That was like the last sort of paid gig
Yes.
thing that you did. I was
Yes. What
curious with that. What did you get paid? I wanted to ask.
I yeah, I got paid for every bit of it.
Okay, and
Yeah, and
so
and when they wanted me to do extra stuff like, make them look thinner or make them, look more
essentially
like Vogue.
Photoshop it,
When they
right?
wanted me to start using like extreme Photoshop, not just I know how to do like, skin retouching and whatnot, like vaguely know how to
Mhm.
do it to the point where it's okay. But when
In your
they were asking,
contract, what
uh-huh,
was the wording there for you?
I
Like,
do
did they
not
get a revision, or how does that work?
I revised I had to revise the whole contract because in the contract I said that I do not offer Photoshop services. That's
Hmm.
just what it is.
Yeah.
And I gave them two revisions of any photos that they wanted, and they wanted me to make them look thinner. And I said, I don't do that. That is not something that I've ever considered doing. And if I tried to do it with you, you would end up probably not liking it at all because I don't fucking do it.
Hmm.
And they said, well, you know what? You can absolutely test it out with me. And I was like, are you sure about that? And she said, yes. And I said, okay. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to rewrite this contract. I'm going to add that in there, and you're going to pay me what I put in that contract. To which the first response that I didn't like was, well, what if I don't want to? Then get lost. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're having me do something that's going to take a lot of time for me to learn before I even touch your photo in a professional
Hmm.
sense. So that was already strike number one as far as I was concerned. So I did it.
What are your? Oh, okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
I did it. Uh, took hours to kind of get what she wanted, and it didn't even look that good. I didn't even think it looked that good, and I told her
Yeah.
like I specified to her in writing many times in an email, in text, in the contract itself that the quality is not going to be very good because it's my first time doing it. You have to
Hmm.
understand that. She said she was fine with it. I gave it back to her, and she essentially verbally assaulted me over and over again, telling me that I was a shit photographer, that I don't know what I'm doing, and that you shouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
charging as much as you are. And all I sent back to her was, woman, pay me and we can be done. No, I don't
Hmm.
want to pay you. Well, then I will happily take you to court, bitch. And all of a sudden, in my Cash App, there was a $250 payment. That was it. Never heard from her again.
Mm.
End of story. Done. And
Yeah.
that was the moment I was like, I don't fucking like this. I don't like that. So I'm done.
Are you going to continue with your photography business?
Well, not officially. I might bring it back because I did kind of shut it down. Um,
Mm.
uh, I have people who, they do see my stuff up here on Instagram, or they'll see me out, shooting photos, and they'll ask me how much I charge for photos, and I tell them the price I'm stuck with it, $250 for a shoot. That plain and simple. It's an hour long. Here's my phone number. Call me if you want to give me more details.
Hmm.
That's it. I leave it
Yeah.
all up to them because if I initiate it, then I feel like I'm just gonna, if they don't answer, then I'm gonna be like, oh well, maybe I didn't do something right, and then I'm just gonna be reminding myself like, this is why I don't fucking like this.
I
I gotta
understand.
get Dave. That's actually a really good idea. Where it's like, you say, "Hey, here it is. Here's my number. Let me know." You're leaving it up to them.
Yeah,
Where
don't
if you
don't
don't,
don't. I don't want you wasting my time, and I don't want to be potentially wasting your time. That's
yeah,
just what it is. Like, and on top of that,
Yeah.
most importantly, and I talked about this in the podcast that I had before we started doing this, I was not good at running my own business. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to
Yeah.
lie. It's not for everyone. I don't know
It's hard.
where we got this. I don't know where we got this idea. At some point along the way, we lost ourselves and thought, you know what? Every hobby you do, you need to make money off of. No, sometimes you just got to do shit because it's fun. Like,
Right.
fucking,
Yeah. If you
like, I
can
don't know.
if you can have fun with it and not make it your full-time job, I think that's probably the best way to go for most people, for
Yeah.
sure. The
Like,
business
I don't.
side is really difficult.
I don't know where I heard it. It might have been TikTok, might have been Instagram. I might have thought of it
oh no,
myself.
no,
I
no, no, no.
don't
That's
remember.
definitely a TikTok thing right there.
No, no,
That
no. What I'm
like,
Well, hold
about
on.
to say.
Let's
What I'm
go. Let's
about
go.
to
Let's
say.
go.
oh, what he's about to say.
Just because you do something for enjoyment does not mean you have to be good at it.
That was TikTok too.
That was TikTok, wasn't it? Okay, I fucking thought so. I thought it was
That's
TikTok.
interesting. That's really
But
interesting. What are your thoughts?
it's
Do you agree with that?
yes, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I play music. I played music for years. I can I have a relative ear, which I don't know if you guys know what that means. But basically, I can kind of pull out of my ass the note that is being played when it's played. I don't know it for certain, but I can kind of figure it out by listening to it.
Yeah.
Right? Did it for
Sure.
14 years. I can't write my own music.
Mm-hmm.
I can play
Yeah.
other people's music though. I'm a great cover artist, I guess. But like I
Yeah.
can't play other people's music. Does that stop me from, playing music? No. What
So
stops
so
me from playing
so
music is I don't have an instrument right now.
here's how I feel about what you're saying. And,
Mhm.
and and this is why I started. So I read this book a while back, years ago, when I was going through a rough time, called The War of Art, which is a
Mhm.
play on the art of war. And I forgot who
Yes.
wrote it, some dude. And it's a tremendous
It's
book. I recommend
fascinating.
it to anybody. You can find the audio version out
I'm
there
googling
if
it
you're
right
not into
now.
reading. It's called The War of Art, and it's essentially about the differences between amateurs and pros, and
Yeah.
the resistance. They call it resistance
Mhm.
of like, they call it writer's block, right? The
Yeah.
author calls it resistance. And that's why when we started this episode, I set the table of like the differences between amateurs and pros. Once we start
Mhm.
talking about money, we're talking about professional services.
Yes.
And and that part can be gamified.
Yeah.
And there needs to be like some tutelage. There needs to be some sort of
Mhm.
we need to learn this information is gate kept. Now it's more readily
Yeah.
available than ever. When I was coming up in
Mhm.
2005, this information was nowhere to be found. And also, I didn't grow up with an older brother or a father figure to kind
Mhm.
of show me the ropes. Like there was,
Yeah.
it was that. But what I will say is like how I would have handled this. We all get those nightmare clients, right? But how I would have personally
Mhm.
today, with my experience today, I would have handled that client with what you're asking me to do. We said from the get go, I don't do. If you want what you're asking for to make yourself look thinner, you're gonna have to pay me X. Do you agree with that? Yes. Okay. Cool. So we'll revise that contract and we'll add that in there. But
Yep.
you're only gonna get one revision with that, and that's that. If you don't like the way it is, that's the way it is.
Mhm.
Okay. And I would have
Yep.
protected the mystique of whether or not I can do that. Right.
Mhm.
And what I would have done is outsource that. I wouldn't have done it, and I would have, if this chick was going to pay me an extra 10% or whatever the figure is, X,
Yeah.
to for that addendum,
Mhm.
I would have outsourced that. I would have gave it to someone who I know who knows how to do that, and I would have paid them, and that would have been that, and I wouldn't have had to gone through that drama and that
Mm.
trauma, quite frankly.
Very
So
true.
it's happened to me to this
I
day
didn't even think
where
about that.
a client wants a video revision of a thing that I can't do. Say it's because I don't fuck with After Effects. And
Yeah.
when you had asked me a couple pods ago what would be my video superpower, I mentioned After Effects. Like I would love to be able to
Yeah.
do that. But if somebody asked me, I would have to outsource that to someone who can do it. But I'm going to get a
Mhm.
cut of that. And that's the stuff
Mm.
that like we don't share those codes. it's sort of open source on TikTok a little bit. There's more kind of gurus about that, but
Yeah.
Nah.
that,
I mean, like you're right. Like there are a lot of just. Sorry, I really wanted to touch on that point that you
please,
just made
please.
about like the gurus of TikTok, where everybody's got something that they want to put out. Tips. Yeah, try this. You know, our favorite buddy. Hey, use these settings. You're gonna get this type of photo. You remember
Oh,
that guy?
get
Yeah.
fucked. I hate
You
those
remember that
videos.
guy? That was a
No,
funny
who's
one.
Fucking
this
hate
guy?
that guy.
Who's
He's
name him?
a
Name him. I don't know
Piece
who he
of
is.
shit.
no, he doesn't deserve a name. I don't even know
Okay,
what his name is.
I might not know him then.
Yeah, I don't. Trust me. Blame Anthony. Put up a video about
I
him.
give no notoriety
Wow,
to people like that.
Yeah,
fair.
yeah, nah, yeah. Fuck that guy. But
Wow.
but nah, but I'm starting, and like I think we've had this in conversations before where everybody's like, yeah, this is what I did. This is what I did. This is what I did. This is what I
Sure.
did. But
Hmm.
nobody's
Hmm.
talking about when they failed,
I
because
know.
the failures are what got you to the
That's
point
so
where you are
fascinating that you're
now.
talking
100%.
about that, because that's like the big reason why I started openly talking about the fact that like I sucked at running my business. Like
Hmm.
that's the only reason I started talking about it, was because like everyone's always talking about how easy it is to get your business started and get
Well,
these
my
clients and
my
get
big
this
brother
money. It's
advice,
like,
dude,
yo,
is
like,
my big brother advice for you is like everybody sucks like when they try it for the first time. Like, we all know, like that's just part of it. Like that's what I would tell you is that it's
yeah,
part
but
of it.
that's the thing. The thing is though,
If
I
you're
don't
in a
think I want
car
it.
and your
I
car crashes, you're gonna have
Yeah,
a little PTSD, and that's normal,
yeah,
right?
but
It's
no,
the same thing with business.
I don't. Hold on, hold on. I like the creative side of photography. I do not like the business side of it. I fucking hate it. If I
I
could, I
understand.
would hire someone to do it for me, because I don't
Yeah, and
like it.
that's something you should consider. I think for real. So one thing I want to talk about before we wrap up here, I know we're wrapping up shortly. We have a hard out. I want to talk about, and it's something I kind of see on TikTok, which like we keep mentioning TikTok because that's basically how we met. But revenue streams. So another thing,
Yes.
and you might not be into this if you're not into the business side of things, but
Mhm.
sponsorships
Mm.
and also imagine if Aperture reaches out and will give you a light. Hey, fuck yeah, I'll say
Do I
yes to
get to
that.
choose the light?
Well, I'm just saying, right? So
Uh-huh.
sponsorships as well as digital assets, like people that create LUTs. These are multiple revenue streams outside of actually boots on the ground work. Some of the best advice I personally ever got, and maybe I should do a video for this or something, but the best
Maybe you
advice I ever
should.
got was from a millionaire who told me, I'm not going to make my fortune filming videos and editing videos because you could only do that one at a time. He told me you
Mhm.
have to make yourself obsolete and pay. This is like running a business, pay people to do those things, and you go out and you get more work to feed that
Mm.
farm, right? And
Mhm.
that's true, and it's very hard and it's easier said than done, but when you're able to scale yourself and make yourself obsolete, then the fortune comes. Then that's when you can make big fucking money. So revenue streams, multiple revenue streams is something I wanted to mention with people because
Mm.
hey, you know what? On a long enough timeline, you know what would be sick, say 2 years from now, if we're still doing this?
Well,
If people wanted to fucking pay us to do this, that'd be sick, like whether if it's YouTube AdSense or a sponsorship, if Squarespace reaches out to us to do this, and if we like the terms,
Squarespace.
and it's
Yeah.
unanimous and we like it, right? And hey, and
Yeah.
if it's an extra K, if it's an extra K in my bank, I'll consider it. And I'm sure you guys would
Extra K
too.
for each of us, so
That's
they're gonna pay us 3K.
extra K each. I'm just saying, hey, we'll negotiate that if we got the
You
millions
see,
of
in
views.
my
I
Fuck
like
yeah,
the
we'll
way he
get that.
thinks.
here's my thing about sponsorships, and here's like the thing that I like would love to do. Hopefully one day I have a video right now that kind of started blowing up on YouTube. It's got only like 1,000 views on it though, so maybe it's not really blowing up. But like,
Hallelujah. That's awesome.
I know. Right? Thank you. If I ever did get a sponsorship on YouTube, I feel like the
When?
thing when
When?
Thank you,
when
thank you. I was just
okay,
about to
fine.
say
When I get
when.
a sponsorship
When?
on YouTube, what they say,
Yes.
when I get a sponsorship on
Yeah.
YouTube, one of the things that I would like to point out and would definitely try to negotiate is like this video is going to be on the internet in perpetuity. and
That's
you're
right.
always going to be getting business from it, you got to pay me a little bit
Yeah.
more than 10 cents a view, like way more than that.
Right. So you can negotiate that, right? And depending on the
Yep.
business and how, give the business some credit. Like if it is a Squarespace or if it is who does like the ND
Bro, if it's a
filters?
Squarespace, just don't charge me to
Tiffin.
use your site.
Dude, here's something. While we're on sponsorships, real fast, because I did this last year and it was
This
hilarious.
video
I
was
think I mentioned
sponsored by
this to you
Wix.
guys. I mentioned this to you guys. I reached out to what was that website? They do like lens filters. It's Prisma FX or some shit like that.
Prisma,
yeah.
And so I just DM'd them and I was like, hey, send me some products. I'm super famous. Send me some products. And they're like,
No.
are you serious? And I was like, yeah. Send me. I want this and this and
No.
this. Yeah.
Wait,
And they
is this how?
and I told Cam this. I swear, 'cause this is back then when
You
we had
did.
John
I
John
remember
Fulton
that.
in the fucking group as well. And I
Yeah.
was like, dude, send me some shit. And they did. It was hilarious. I was like, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. It's really funny to me. So you'd be surprised. The
all
bar's
it
way lower.
takes?
The bar's way lower than you think, dude. That's a
Yo,
fact.
I feel dumb as shit right now.
No.
Right.
Like I said, this
That's
information
so
is gate
funny.
kept.
That's so funny.
I really
Oh,
want to.
Revenue
wow.
streams.
I really
That's
wanna
where
try
we're
this.
gonna make it. If you want to be a professional and if you want to be to
Mhm.
quote Jay-Z, a business man in this game, you the multiple revenue streams is how we're going to make our fortune. It's not
The
going to be
big-
through portrait photography. No matter
No,
how
God, no.
fucking great we get. It's not going to be.
Absolutely. No, the thing that
one of my questions I want to ask you guys, and you
yeah.
and David, you can answer first because I know you got something. What's
Yeah.
the biggest payday you guys ever got in your career?
I did a wedding in Philly. And this person, they said, I really love the mood for your photos. I really love how you take your photos. And I was like, thanks, what do you want? And not in that tone. I was much more professional and cordial. Oh, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. What can I do for you today? And they sent me an email back. They were like, we would love for you to shoot our wedding. Now, I swore off weddings after doing one and hating every second of it. And I said I would only do a wedding if they agree to my price. $3,000. That's it. $3,000. You agree to that? I will absolutely. I'll do it. I will make the contract. I'll make the shot list. Anything. So that's what I did. I sent out the email. Say, well, I don't really do weddings, and I'm not really a fan of doing weddings. So my price for doing your wedding minimum is $3,000. Let me know what you think of that number. And
that's just for photos?
Yeah, just for I don't really do video. I know how to, but
Mhm.
like I've been out of practice for so long. At this point, I got to get that shit back
It's so
up.
weird when you say that because like you're so prolific in videos. Like you clearly know how to edit. Like your shit looks
Yeah,
crunchy. So it's yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. More in
Yeah.
the sense of like people want those with those wedding videos. They want it to look cinematic.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
and
It's a different thing.
and
Yeah.
the way to get it to look like that takes a lot more effort than what people think. Cam knows
Did
that.
you
And
close?
you know
Did you
that.
close that deal?
Yeah, this person said yes in the next email. It's just
And did
yes.
you think
was like-
shit? I should have charged them $5.
No. No. I didn't think that at all because I was like, you know what? No, $3,000. This is more than I was ever gonna make with portraits or events or whatever. This is more than it was ever gonna be. Did the wedding. It was a whole day thing. They paid me half up front. I was gonna get the other half at the end, and delivered all the final photos. She said she loved them. The groom said he was really impressed. All that shit. And then I said, okay, cool. So pay me by the end of the week and we're square as per the contract. Please remit by dates, And they sent me the rest of it through like Zelle, not Cash App, Zelle.
Yeah, Zelle. Right into your bank.
And paid me an extra $1,000
Oh, that's the
as a
best.
tip. So
That's a
that was
best.
so 4K so 4K for one job. That was the best payday of my life. And that for a moment I was like,
your dick
Oh my
grows
God.
an inch
oh yeah.
per
And
like with a $1,000 tip, with a 4-fig tip.
And
Ugh.
you know what? For like 2 seconds, I was like, maybe I should do more weddings. And then I went on to Instagram and scrolled through. I'm like, I fucking hate this. Never mind.
You know what? That just means that you value your time more than you value money, and I think
Yeah.
that just means that your
That's why
time is very precious, and I
that's
respect
why
that.
that's why I don't really like, doing the business end of it. I like doing more creative stuff. And
Mhm.
I don't want to, have to I don't want this to be the way I make money. I know I do YouTube and TikTok and all that, and I want that to be a way I make money. But taking
Yeah.
photos, if that ever like becomes my primary source, just the taking photos part of making money, I think I'll get bored of it very fast. That's my opinion though.
Cam, biggest payday.
32K. 32.
Nice.
Wait, hold on. 3,200 because 32K sounds like 32,000. It's not what I
Yeah,
mean.
3,200. Yeah, that's sick,
Gotta,
man.
3,200.
you
Was
gotta
that
one up me
video,
with the
photo?
200.
Mm-hmm.
You got. Was that three? Would you walk
I
away
know.
with $3,000, David, or was that $4,000 total, including the tip?
$4,000 total. I was messing with him.
He
Yeah,
was,
so that's
he was
$4,000. Yeah.
for. So yeah,
And was
it
that
was a
for
good day.
video, photo, a hybrid of both?
No, that was just photos. But I will no.
God
When
damn.
it comes to
What the
doing
fuck did
like
you?
a high,
What the fuck did you shoot? The fucking statue of David? What? My lord, you got paid 3,200 to shoot photos? Yo,
yeah,
give
no,
me their number.
my weddings start at 2K.
Ah, weddings.
Yeah,
Okay,
my wedding
makes
photography
sense.
starts at 2K. Actually, no, now it starts at 2,500 and goes up from
Nice.
there. So
Very nice. Yeah,
like, yeah,
that's
no,
sick.
well, man, I love how I price weddings now. It's like if you want photos only, cool, 2,500. You want photo and video? Okay, now I got to bring somebody else in. 5K. Oh, you want drone work? Cool, 6K. You want
Yeah.
another shooter on top of the second shooter I already got?
Yeah.
Cool. I gotta pay him. Give me
That's a
1K.
bargain. That's still a bargain
Give me
too,
an
man. There
extra.
are some people out there that are the services are like start at 20. It's like, what the fuck? I can't believe people pay for that. Like
Bro,
like how big is their wedding that they have $20,000 to spend on a fucking video or photos?
I look
It's amazing.
forward to the day I can say I got paid a wedding that's going to make me as I'm going to get paid one day, like 8 hours of work, a full work day. They're going to pay me so much money, as much money as I make now for working a whole year. I look forward to it. Oh, I so look forward to it.
It's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna happen,
For
man.
like the day
Um,
that happens, you're gonna see me.
He's gonna throw it back on TikTok. He's finally gonna do one of those dances.
if Now I don't want to discount how talented Cam is at what he does. He obviously
Uh huh.
very much is. And
So
if you don't believe me, listeners, check him out on Instagram. If you don't believe me, then you'll see for yourself. But if you could monetize connecting people together, Cam, you'd be a millionaire already. That much I know.
you're the second person to tell me that I'm really good. I'm like, yeah, actually, you were the other person to tell me that I'm
That was
good at
me
connecting
on
with
that
people.
phone
Yeah,
call the other
you
day. Yeah.
were. I'm sitting there like, is there a way I could actually make money with this shit? Because I connect people like it's nothing.
There is, dude. I mean, be a
Like,
fucking agent and connect people together and ask for a fucking fee. Like that's how you would do it. Finder's
I
fee,
mean,
man, or
you're
something.
right. Right, there is that, but at the same time, I guess for me, it's like, no, if I can connect people this well, like if somebody says, "Oh no, I don't know this," who can anything like, "Oh, I got a guy for you." Hey, yada yada yada. This person needs this. Boom, boom, boom. All right, cool. If I can
You're the
connect
guy
people
that's
like
got the
that,
guys, dude.
it's bad. It's
It's
bad.
bad.
It's
All
bad.
right.
It's
As we're
so
wrapping
fucking
up,
bad.
final question here. What advice would you give your younger self, or advice that you'd give to an aspiring creative on how to know their value? How do they do that? How did you do that? How do you do that? How do you know your worth in this
It
business?
when you're first starting off, it's not it's hard because you don't know anything. You don't know anything about the business. You don't know anything about yourself, and you're still learning and whatnot. So if you want to get value to yourself, just keep going. Take those moments of when you're down, and pick yourself back up. And like Dory said, just keep swimming. Just keep
Mm,
going. Don't stop. If I could, that's one thing I would tell myself, my younger self, is that hey, it's all right. I see where you are. I know where you're going. You just got to keep going. You could do this. You could put that Nikon down now. Go get that Sony real quick. Do that, and then we'll go from there. Okay, it's the first thing you can do. I would totally tell myself that.
Mr. Lugowski.
Hit the gym.
Hit the gym. That's rude. Accurately rude. Not necessarily to myself. This is to myself. 90% of what you see on Instagram is going to be garbage, and it looks really cool because it was edited to look cool, but the substance of what it is usually hollow. Do not focus on editing your photos. Focus on developing what you're trying to say with the photo you're taking. Because, man, I keep seeing it. I scroll through Instagram and I just keep seeing these photos that are just, no, it's not there. There's nothing. There's literally nothing going on in the image that would prompt someone to take this photo other than the fact, oh, that's a cool color. There's no thought process behind the composition. There's nothing that's really being trying to be said, about the substance within, about the content of the image itself. And so for the longest time I grappled with that, and I was like, I'm just not as good as, insert this photographer who has, a preset pack in their bio. Like, I'm just not as good as them. How can I be like that?
Like Peter
Until I
McKinnon.
started, huh?
Nothing.
No, what'd you say? What'd you say, bitch? What'd you say? You talking shit?
Like
You
who?
talking shit?
Like who?
Like who? Who?
Like Peter McKinnon.
Oh my
There it is.
God! Stop.
Another
Fucking
cameo
we
on this
bring him
pod.
up. He needs to start paying us for how much we're saying his name at this point. Oh my God! The amount of people who watch this, like, who's Peter McKinnon? Googles.
He doesn't.
Oh my God! I
he
love him
doesn't
so
need.
much more.
He doesn't need to get paid. He needs a discount. That's what I think.
Right?
He should
But
get
no, it's
10%
like
off.
someone like Peter McKinnon though. Yeah, like I used to look at his work, his photos, and be like, oh my God, these are amazing. How does someone take such good photos? And then I really like reined it back, and I started really focusing on how to compose an image, how to use the relationship of what you're taking a photo of and the shit around it to give some kind of clarity to it. It's to the image itself. And all of a sudden, all those guys, Matty Apoya, Peter McKinnon, Chris Howe, Lizzie Pierce, all of them, I was like, your images are like they're not that good. They're not. There's nothing to
I
them.
will say this. I will say this. When it comes to Chris Howe, his normal photography, trash, garbage. His
Yes,
drone photography, some of the stuff he's put up with his drone work is fire
I don't
though.
think I've looked at enough of his drone work, but like
He
the
has
thing
a
is,
few drone shots out there that are like fire.
people, what it seems to me, and it took me this long to realize, is everyone wants that quick fix for this, and it just doesn't exist.
No, not
People
at all.
want the
It don't.
preset packs. People want, you know, all these things that they think are going to make them, boom, the next Peter McKinnon. And it's just, that's not how this works. So if I were to tell myself anything, focus on the art behind this more than anything else, and you're going to be way happier. You might not get as many likes on Instagram, definitely not as many likes, but I'm happier with what I'm putting out than I was a year ago.
So I want to drop this quick little nugget. As far as, because you might love this one, but as far as like Peter McKinnon's photography, he's average. Never cared about his photography. I only cared about his videography because that's how I wanted my stuff to look, and that's all it was for me. It looked like, oh,
He's
your
an
videography
intense
was good.
Wes Anderson. Change my mind.
I
Shut
don't
up.
think he deserves that praise. Nah.
What?
He's
But
not there.
Oh,
that's
sorry.
it.
Not in
Like
the sense
as
of how
far as
great Wes Anderson is, how stylized Wes Anderson is.
No.
You can watch a Peter McKinnon video and know it's a Peter McKinnon video before you even hear the "What's up" or whatever the fuck he does.
I don't even know if I agree. They're all the same. It's all like, who created the
between,
style?
yeah,
Was it Daniel Schiffer or was it Peter McKinnon?
Oh, you're
Like
fucking
so.
right.
between,
No, wait, no. Sam
yeah,
Colder.
And then there's Sam
between
Colder, who's
all
like
of them.
Yeah, you're
who's
right.
Mount Rushmore. Sam Colder. No one has a bad thing to say about him. He's the real deal for sure.
No,
Like
He's
wow,
they
hot
McKinnon really
and
did
he's a
rip
great
off of that shit.
filmmaker.
Yes,
They
he
all
is
have that.
such a hot dude.
They have.
What'd you say, Cam?
They
Like
all
Cam
have
said,
that same
Sam
fucking
Coulter
look.
has abs for days.
Wait, I said that?
Yeah, Cam just said that Sam Coulter's super hot as far as white boys go, and Cam, I couldn't
As
agree
far as
more.
white boys go, oh
Um,
no.
Alright, cool.
I'm just kidding. I'm
Rock
just-
out.
But no, like I don't know, Knives. What
I,
would you say?
For what? About Sam?
For, no,
10 out of 10.
no.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. No, you asked us. What is something we
Yeah.
could go back and tell ourselves, or tell up and
Yeah,
coming creatives?
about knowing
Like,
your
what
worth,
is it?
right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sound like a beauty pageant contestant. I truly believe. I truly believe that all you really need is one decision maker
Mm-hmm.
to see what you do to invest in you.
That's true.
And don't focus on the noise and the bullshit and the negativity and like
Mhm.
all the no's. Like, don't focus on the no's and the noise. Like, don't focus on that. What truly changed my career was one person invested in me, saw something in me that nobody else wanted to admit, gave me that platform, and then all of a sudden, people looked at me differently. And the more of those sorts of people that you attract in your deck, so to speak, the more of those aces that you have up your sleeve, all of a sudden you're validated in other people. Like, um, that was one issue that I had growing up and starting out was I really seeked and desired that validation more than I desired a paycheck. I just wanted people like this daddy issue guy to be like, just look at me and tell me that I'm good. And finally somebody
Mm.
did, and it was not the person that I expected. And it and they paid me for what I did. They paid me to be Knives Monroe, and it was awesome. And now I only fish in those ponds. And I
Yeah.
throw out the little guppies that I know just aren't big fishes, and I try to land a big whale and I eat off
Yeah.
of that, As far as when I say my worth, I don't mean my self-worth. I mean
Mm-hmm.
my worth in the marketplace, like what makes me different? What value can I have? If you can balance that in tandem with not having a scarcity mindset yourself, like not being like so money hungry, I'm going to charge this client $5,000 because I need to eat now. I know we think we need to do that, but it's actually you have to come from a place of abundance that you have what you need. And there's something that happens in the universe where people want to be around that, and they're attracted to that, and they want to work with that because maybe there's not like this residue of desperation or something that you
Mm-hmm.
unintentionally give off or something. So have a wealth mindset and you'll attract wealth. I really believe that. I know I sound like Ty Lopez here. I'm not trying to sell course,
Sound
but
like
I do
Gary Vee
believe that.
also.
I don't.
No. What he's saying,
Here
Cam,
he is.
is that if you charge crackhead prices, you get crackhead clients. The theme of today's video.
If the crackheads checks don't bounce, I'll take them. More for me.
Someone's gonna pawn off a crack pipe now.
Um,
Great.
All right, guys. This has been another episode of the podcast. I want to thank you guys so much for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please
Thank
like,
you.
comment, subscribe. If you made it this far, that's amazing. Reach out to Kamerin Stroud on TikTok. You can find his information in the bio. Reach out to David Lugowski everywhere that he is. He's working on new videos. As soon as we wrap up here, he's going to film something else. So stay tuned for that. I appreciate you guys so much. Sorry I fucked up the intro, but I'm killing it on this outro. We'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.
Deuces.